Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, how are you? How are you? How are you? Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello. Wow. All right, I want to get look at you guys for just a sec. All right, you guys out, ready to go, ready to rock this. Jennifer's right up in, man, she's at right in her screen, ready to go. She's in it. She's good. All right. All right, Jane, I thought you and I were talking today, but then I got your message. We canceled. Okay, we're cool. I got your message though. Good, good, good. All right. Susie. Hey guys. Welcome, welcome. All right, see you guys. All right. Susan's wearing some bright colors for us again. I like it. bring in a little color into this. All right, cool. I can't see what that is, but I see the color. All right, guys, welcome, welcome. There's Doreen. Hey, guys. All right, Sue, you're on fire. You're ready for this thing? Okay, all right. Welcome, welcome. Okay, guys, it is officially, I guess it wouldn't be unofficially, it is officially day 4. You made it to day 4. Congratulations. How many of you were wondering if you were going to make it to day 4? How many of you knew you were going to make it to day 4? You knew it. You're in it. You're here. You made it to day 4. Day 4. How many of you, yesterday was a lot? Yesterday brought up some stuff. Anybody? Anybody have some stuff show up? Yeah. I hope so. We looked at the abyss, which was a pretty freaky and scary place if you haven't looked at it lately. But it's the place you don't want to go. It's the place you don't want to look at. We'd rather avoid it. We'd rather not have to deal with it. But how many of you recognize that it's critical if you want your business to be successful, you've got to be willing to look into the abyss? How many of you recognize this? You've got to be willing to explore the things you've been avoiding, the things you haven't been wanting to look at, the things that you've been running from. Yeah. Yeah. And I know some of you are like, I don't like running from stuff, Brandon. I know you don't. I know you don't. So the abyss is the place we got to look at and say, hey, you know what? It's okay. As long as we put a big or bring a big giant spotlight down there, I'm good. We just have to shine some light on it instead of it living in the dark. And that's our insecurities, and that's our worries, and that's our fears, and that's our shadow, right? That's the stuff our survival brains focus on. Listen, we all have it. It's okay. It's cool. It's good. We're all going through this stuff. We all need to have stuff that's buried down there. And some of you are like, Brandon, I don't have a lot of stuff buried. It's cool. You don't have to have some deep stuff buried. You might have some very surface stuff buried. It might just be, hey, you know what? I've not been making my business a priority. Okay, cool. That could be it. That could be what's in the abyss. For some of you, it's a lot deeper. For some of you, there might be some core wounds in there. But we know it's there, and we know we got to look into the abyss in order to deal with what's holding us back in our lives. This isn't just about our business, guys. Hopefully you know that by now. Day 4 with me, hopefully you've figured out that this just isn't about your business. This is about your life, right? And your business is a big part of it. Absolutely, 100%. And I want to give you the greatest business that you could possibly have. I'm not the guy that's going to give you all the, the mechanics. I'm not going to be like, hey, go. It's the emotional, it's the mental piece that I think is so critical to make your business ultimately successful. Because if it's not where you want it to be, I guarantee there's something emotional, there's something mental that's getting in your way. And I'm not calling you mental, right? You're not mental. We all need a good brainwashing once in a while, right? Come on. Some of you are like, don't brainwash me. I like my brain scrubbed a little bit here and there. I know that you guys had some weird stuff happen in the past in your business with somebody coming in and doing some things that weren't healthy. And it felt like brainwashing. I'm not here to get you to drink my Kool-Aid, right? I'm here to help you become the best version of you. And that requires looking at some of your insecurities and some of the things that hold you back. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being willing to take it on. We're going to shift gears a little bit today, and it is going to be a little bit more moving towards skill set, right? I'm going to move you a little bit more towards skill set in your business today. But it's still very, very mental, still very, very looking up here and exploring what's going on mentally. I'm curious, before we do that though, any massive breakthroughs or ahas that happened yesterday? Anybody want to put in the chat or even allow you to come off mute, right? I'm not in control of your mute button. You are. But to be able to come off mute and go, hey, here's a massive breakthrough I had yesterday. Here's something that really created some movement. And if you have a share and you want to share with the group, like I'm open to it. I'm open to bringing in. It was such a big day. And there's so much involved in looking into the abyss that I'm good. Yeah, reminders about perfection. How many of you had some breakthroughs around, hey, the reason that I have perfection is, my gosh, this came from childhood. And I remember in order to get that person's love, I had to be a certain way. And I'm still carrying that perfection around today. Anybody that was a aha for you? Yeah. Yeah. Or, it's any of the things that we dug into yesterday, any of the explorations for you. Like, how many of you recognize shame as a driver? Shame is a protection mechanism for most of us. Because if we can be in shame, then somehow we'll be enough and we'll be loved. How many had some shame awareness? Like, oh my gosh, I do. I live in some shame and perfection. I like Brene Brown when she talks about perfection and shame. She says, if perfection's driving, shame's riding shotgun, right? And I kind of expand on that and I go, and I guarantee scarcity's in the back seat, right? So they kind of go hand in hand. How many of you realize that you're not taking a lot of risks, that you're playing it safe? And that's what's getting in the way of your business being more successful. Yeah, perfection's there, shame's there, and playing it safe because I'm in scarcity mode around time, around money, around love. Abby, we dug in. We dug in yesterday with Abby. If you guys were part of the VIP lab, you saw Abby, and we talked about, Abby, hope you're okay with me calling on you, but we talked about that time scarcity. And she's like, oh, yeah, time scarcity. I don't have enough time. And what we recognize is for Abby, it was like, when I feel good about time is when I have my own time and people aren't needing things and people aren't wanting things. And I'm like, well, you better go find a deserted island, right? Because as long as you have people that love you and family and significant other and friends and you're running a team, people are going to need your time. But what's beautiful about your time? She go, oh, my son and the time we spend together and oh, my husband and how much he loves me and how we spend time together. I'm like, yes. What's the answer to scarcity around time and money and love? Abundance. Finding the value, finding the gratitude in your time and your money. And then you're free to take and make bold moves if you need to. You're free to make bold moves. So, yeah, yesterday, big day. Any other awarenesses you're welcome to put in? Empowered and brave. Good, good. Got some bison on the call. We have some bison out there, right? I feel bad that this is what I did to my kids too. Yeah, I know. You could go to shame. We can go to shame all day long. Again, if you had a do-over, would you do it different? Maybe. But again, shame's not going to do you any good. Shame's a protective mechanism that's an old process. And today it's like there's a different way. There's a different way, and shame's not the answer. Plus, your kids don't want to see you in shame. Working through all my fears and realizing that I don't need to keep playing that story. Isn't that nice, Susie? Yeah. Need to see myself as I am. I'm good with who I am. Yeah, well, who's your self-image? Right, Stanell, who's your self-image? What's your self-image of you? What is that? Is it beautiful? Is it incredible? Is it gorgeous? Or is it like I suck and I'm bad? And that's a protection. That's a survival brain protection mechanism. That's all it is. But it's the stuff that gets in your way of you being more effective in your business. Yeah. 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 Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Um, today, I want to shift into we're still working on creating a business. We called this thing a business reset, but I like business transformation better. So what we've been doing for the last 4 days, yeah, it's been a business reset. I think how many of you felt like you've kind of reset some things? Anybody feel like you've kind of had a mental reset? Yeah, cool. That was the goal. That was the objective. Transformation, that's a bigger word. That's maybe a bigger step. Brandon, I kind of reset my mind a little bit, but now I want to make a transformation. Yeah, to make a transformation, these are the steps that we've been taking. 5 of them, 5 days, 5 steps to make or create a business reset, but to create a transformation. And today is about creating a movement. Now, some of you have walked down this path with me before, but like we always say, you can have some cognitive mastery and you can know more and know more and know more, or experiential mastery and then eventually physical mastery. How do we get experiential mastery? We've got to keep continuing the repetition. That was probably a lot of redundant information in there, or redundant the way I said it, a lot of, more of, but repetition. What if you guys, have you ever seen, what if I said, hey, there's a book on a bookshelf and it says the secret to changing your brain, repetition. How many of you are buying that book? I'm curious. Come on. Really? That's like buying a book that says why aliens don't exist. Like, how many of you are buying that book? You're like, that doesn't sound like a very good book. Why all the proof that Sasquatch, Bigfoot, the Yeti does not exist. How many of you are watching that TV show? They're like, well, look, we're out in the woods right now. I don't see a Bigfoot, right? See one? Do you see one? We spent 6 months out here. I don't see a Bigfoot. No trace of one. No. You're like, that doesn't sound like a very fun show to watch. It's kind of like buying a book on repetition, right? Now, how many of you are buying this book? It's got, some green and yellow, and I'm looking at some colors here, right? And some purple and some rainbows. And it's got, looking at this card my wife gave me, it's got a wolf that's howling out all these butterflies. Maybe that's the cover of the book, a wolf howling out butterflies. What a beautiful visual, right? With all these colors. And it says, the secret to success, all you have to do is manifest it and dream it. How many of you are buying that book? Come on. Come on. The secrets nobody wants to tell you. And they're all in this book. And it's like, I want that book. And then you get the book and you read through it and you go, well, okay, I get it. But I'm doing these things, but I'm still like, come on. Come on. Sometimes it's not in the abstract. Sometimes it's in the simple. Sometimes it's in the basic. And I got to tell you, repetition is one of those things. Repetition is the mother of all skill. I used to hear Tony Robbins say that all the time, and it just drove me nuts. I'm like, shut up. Like, stop saying it. I'm tired of hearing it. It's like hearing live life on life's terms. Like, no, I'll live my own life. I'm not living life on life's terms. Like, I hate that. How many of you hate hearing those things? How many of you hate that comment? You're like, no, I don't want to live life on life's terms. I want to control everything. Right? How many of you would buy the book that said how you can control everything in your life, including all the people you have no control of? Like, yes, I'll buy that book. Guys, repetition's the mother of all skill. It just is. And so hearing some things over and over again and processing them over and over again, I think are critical. And how many of you have heard something over and over again, and then at one point you just get it? You're like, oh, like I think it was the other night we were doing the 6 human needs in one of our academies, and somebody said, Brandon, I've heard you talk about the 6 human needs 12 times easily. And today I got it different. I think I got it. And I'm like, yeah, maybe it took 12 times. So repetition to get that experiential mastery. Today it might be repetition for some of you, but creating a movement. What does a movement mean to you? If we ultimately, hang on, let me take a step back before you answer that question. If we want to magnetize people, if we want to bring people in closer, if you want to attract more people into your business, if you want to build more frontline, you want to build a bigger team, you want to bring more people in from outside, you want some new blood. I hear that all the time. I need new blood. It's kind of like, what you're saying is I'd like some people who want to work, who want to show up. I want to go recruit them, right? Hey, if you want to bring more partners on board, you've got to be more magnetizing. And what a better way than to create a movement? What does a movement mean to you? What does a movement mean to you? What's in a movement? What's in a movement? Curious. Put in the chat what you think. What is in a movement? What does a movement mean to you? In your own words, define what a movement is. Change, working together to achieve a common goal. Okay. A belief. Smile more. Okay. Mojo. Ooh, that's good. I like that one. Okay. Yeah. That's good, Susan. Common goals. Momentum. All right. So Sandy, momentum, and then that going viral. Absolutely. A purpose, a common goal. Passion of moving something forward to a new place. Yep. Change, faith, following new ideas. Yep. Meeting new people. Excitement, energy, a mission. Yep. I'm hearing seeing mission a lot. People moving forward together, making new decisions. Excitement. Okay. Good or bad. Yep. Gathering of ideals. Yep. Action for change. Okay. When's the last time you were moved? When's the last time you were moved? How many of you were some of what I've gone through this week moved you? It moved you to some degree. Anybody? You don't have to raise your hand for me to feel better. My self-esteem will take a boost if you all raise your hand, though. Listen, I'm human too, right? I need significance. Hey, movement. If you were moved in some way, shape, or form, it's only because I was excited and moved internally, right? I had a cause. Absolutely, Cynthia. I had a cause. What's my cause? Clearly, you can see I can't just get on here and go, my cause is to make me better. And my cause is to grow my business. If that was my cause, how many of you are picking up on that? And you're like, Brandon, I'm not moved. I'm not moved. But if my cause is to serve you, and I believe wholeheartedly that I have the material, that I have the tools, that I have the stuff to make a change in your business. How many of you felt like I believe that? Does it really matter if I can or can't? If I believe it, does that not make it so? Think about things that have moved you. What's moved you? Did you ever get moved by somebody that went, well, I have this cause, and you might want to take part in this cause. You might want to look at it. And it's kind of interesting. And but I'm a little bit worried about telling you about it. And how many of you are moved? Nope. My physiology, my focus, my language, that impacts whether or not you're moved. And if I'm like, oh, God, I got to get on the call again, and here we go, another couple hours, I'm going to breathe life into people. I guess I got to do it. I've been set up for it. How many of you are like, not moved? If you're obligated and you have to go out and work your business, and you have to go call all the people, and you have to do the IPAs, and you have to do the DMOs, and there's not movement there. I promise you. If any of you have ever seen, I remember, I'm going to pick somebody apart a little bit, but I remember this was probably, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10 years ago. I take my family was a big fan of Maroon 5. Maroon 5, right? That's Maroon, Adam Levine. Is that Maroon 5? It's Maroon. I'm trying to think of the name of the band. It's Maroon 5, right? I'm losing my train of thought. But my kids are all fans, and kind of as a family, you can like Maroon 5. So we go to Vegas to see him. And I got to tell you, disappointed. I felt like they just phoned it in. I felt like they really weren't passionate. I felt like they're not moving me. And then I've been to concerts where, oh my gosh, some concerts where that person is so into their guitar or to their singing that I'm a big Chris Stapleton fan. I love Chris Stapleton. My wife and I have seen him a few times, and man, that guy just moves me. He moves me. Whoa. What bands move you? Who's your favorite band and do they move you? Listen, I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan or a Taylor Swift fan at all. I tell you the truth, I probably know 2 or 3 songs that she sings. But does that woman create movement? No matter what your thought process is about her, does she create a movement? There's people that are called Swifties. That's how moved they are. Brett or Chicago, Heidi. That's cool. Yeah. That's dating you a little bit, but I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm in there. The Eagles. Oh man, come on. Awesome. Yes, yes. Pentatonics. All right. Yeah. Oh, come on. Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead are like they do a different concert every concert. Right? They decide their lineup the 2 hours before. Pearl Jam does the same thing, by the way. I'm a big Pearl Jam fan. They don't phone it in. They decide what they're going to play a few hours before the show. Do we have any Canadians out there? Any Canadians? Kimberly? Okay, we got a couple Canadians. Got a few Canadians. Tragically Hip. Come on. Tell me you weren't moved by Gordie. What's it? Gordie? Not Gordie Howe. He's a hockey player, but his first name's Gordy, and he got a brain tumor, right? He got a brain tumor, and he went out and did like 9 shows after his surgery, and his surgery caused him to forget all the lyrics of his songs. He had to relearn all the lyrics of all his songs. And they went out on tour and they played 90 songs. If you haven't watched the documentary that the Tragically Hip do, I think it's a long time running or something like that, but it's a story of him getting that brain tumor and what he did. It's like, man, movement. What? I'm not Canadian, but I wish I was after I watched that documentary. And I've watched it probably 4 or 5 times. I'm like, the hip, man, Tragically Hip. Like, I love the Tragically Hip. And I'm an American. Movement. What creates a movement? A movement. You could go on social media and you see movements. Remember the ice bucket challenge? That's the big one I remember. People are dumping ice water on their head in the name of ALS, right? ALS research and money for that. And like, that's a movement. So let me ask you, is your business a movement? Are you treating your business like a movement? And you might not always. I get it. There's been times in my business where, I remember in 2019, I got a cancer diagnosis. I was focused on cancer. I wasn't focused on anybody helping anybody or change. I was focused on staying alive. And I was not the guy that was going to jump on a Zoom call with somebody and move them. Until maybe 3 months later, when I said, hey, I am going to survive. And I had to take on all sorts of I had to do some inner work into my abyss. And then I was able to move people by my story, right? And communicate. Let me tell you, how many of you are moved by me telling you my story about getting cancer and what and the journey I've walked through? And maybe I haven't done a fantastic job telling that story completely here over these last few days, but that moves people. What's your movement? How are you moving people in your business? If you want to create a raving fan culture in your business, you got to have a movement. And who's got to be sold on your business first? Who has to be moved in your business first? It's you. It's you. Absolutely. I am not going to be the one to sell you on your own business. I can't do it. You got to be the one to sell you. I can help you. I can give you some tools to help you get better at that for sure. But I can believe in you all day long. Your friends can believe in you all day long. Your downline, your upline, your sideline, they can believe in you all day long. But if you don't believe in you, you're not going to create a movement. And I'm not saying you have to have the highest self-esteem in the world either. I certainly don't. I tell you stories about my shame all the time. Oh my gosh, do I live in shame? And it moves you. So you don't have to have it all put together to create a movement. You just have to have a desire. I want to move people. I want to create a movement. I want my business to move people. A movement has 3 things. It has passion, lots of passion. Again, if I came out and said, all right, guys, Today, we're talking about a movement. And movement's important. And here's why it's important. And here's why it's exciting. It's like, can I get that Dole? Absolutely. I can be that Dole if I don't care about something. I'm like, you know, today I saw some news on some, the Super Bowl that's coming up. I'm like, yeah. How many of you are really excited about the Super Bowl? There's any Chiefs or 49er fans, I apologize, but I'm in Kansas City, you're really excited. In Kansas, you're excited, and maybe some states around there. In California, you're probably really excited. The rest of us are like, hope the commercials are good this year. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I love football, but I don't care who wins. I'm like, I am not going to come on here and create a movement around watching the Super Bowl on Sunday. I don't care. If I come on here and don't care about my business and don't believe that it's going to make a massive shift, the information that I have and deliver to you isn't going to make a massive shift, you're going to feel it. And you're certainly not going to be moved. And if you're not moved, I'm not going to create any raving fans. And if I don't have any raving fans, I don't have a business. So one of the keys to creating a raving fan culture, there's all sorts of ways to do it. Some of you just took part in our NMD 3-day event that we did. And you know that I said creating a raving fan culture is critical. If you don't have movement, you don't have fans. The day I saw Maroon 5 is the day I stopped being a fan. You might be a Maroon 5 fan, I don't know, but I walked out and went, I'm not listening to another song. I'm not a fan. I was not moved. Now, is it their job to move me? No. I mean, it's not. Who cares? Like, right? But I am a raving fan of the people who move me. So movement messaging. A movement has passion. It has problems. What do I mean by that? You're clear about the problems that you're helping people with. How many of you came in here because you wanted your business to get better and grow, but you knew there were things holding you back? How'd you know that? I identified the problem for you. I put it in some material. I put it in a video and I put it in writing. How did I know what that was? I got clear about what your problems are. Now, I work with people all day long, coaching them, so I'm very clear as to what's happening. I work with a number of Juice Plus partners, so I know what the problems are. I don't know all of your problems and every single one, but I'm clear about a lot of them. I work with a lot of people one-on-one where I'm like, and I listen and I pay attention and I write down. I'm like, so a movement has problems, meaning you identify what people's problems are, and it has people. And I know some of you are like, gosh, if I could just do my business without people. Man, if there just wasn't a bunch of people involved. Some of you, I hear this, if I didn't have to work with all women, oh my gosh. Oh, how my business could rock and roll. If I could just find a bunch of men, if I could find just a bunch of, I could just be working with widgets and I didn't have to work with people. Oh my gosh. If I could just depend on me and not have to depend on anybody else, how far my business would go. Sorry, guys. People. And you wouldn't want it any other way. You want people. They help you grow. They help you become better. We interact with people. Our nervous systems regulate with other people's nervous systems. We would die without people. So listen, your business is a very powerful tool to get connection with people. So it involves those three things. That's what movements do include. You all have a personal story. So if I were to pull up the worksheet, today's worksheet, which you're welcome to pull up, but if I was to pull it up, which I will, but if you look at this, like we all can take personal inventory to create movements. And I know you've done this to some degree, but this says, what are some personal victories or successes that I have that my future customers or my future team may want? What are some personal victories or successes? I'll tell you what some of mine are: dealing with shame and overcoming shame, having shame resilience, getting cancer and being cancer-free because one of the reasons, because of how I take care of my body. So 4 years later, being cancer-free, I know it's part of, is that a success? Absolutely. Is it something people in the future want? Resilience? Uh-huh. What are some personal failures or struggles or difficulties that you've had that your future customers or future team might be experiencing? Same things. Shame. I've gone through that. I walk through that all the time. Being a victim, making people villains, going in and looking at your abyss and not wanting to, feeling like a imposter. Have I experienced all those? Yes, and I've communicated them to you. What's your personal stories that are going to have an impact on people in the future? So some of your successes, some of your failures, some of your struggles, guys, that's going to help you to create movement messaging. If I came in here and I said, I know exactly how you feel, like, I know how you feel, I know you went through this and I know you went through that, and I didn't experience it myself, you might go, you don't know how I feel. But I create movement because I express what I've been through, and it's some of the same struggles you struggle with, right? I've just worked through them using tools to get to the other side. And my business, especially, over and over and over again. Reinventing my business, pivoting, moving, do that all the time because I love this thing. And I know it makes a massive difference in people's lives. Do you know that about your products? Do you know that about you and your business? It's time to create the self-image that says I do, and your personal inventory. What are the stories you can tell? I know you've all gone through like your origin story and why you got into Juice Plus and why you do what you do. And everybody's got that personal health story. And then you forget about it. You're like, I've told it so many times, I forget about it. Not everybody's heard it. I remember when we were working with the NMDs a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, you guys know my story. You guys know my cancer story. You know my cancer journey. And when I was done with that, somebody said, Brandon, I don't know your cancer journey. I've never heard it. I have no idea. And I'm like, yeah, I told it so many times and I express it so much. I think everybody's heard it. Guys, everybody has not heard your origin story. They don't know why you got into Juice Plus. And if it's dull to you, reinvent it. I'm not saying make stuff up, but change up the way you communicate about it. Give it a twist. But they don't know your health journey. They don't know your story. Not everybody does. Maybe you've told it so many times. Your origin story is important. Why did you decide to start taking Juice Plus? Because it changed your life? Probably in some way. The business probably changed your life in some way. And I know Brain is tending to focus on things that have gone wrong over the last few months or years, but there's some beautiful things that this company has done to change your life. What are those? They probably haven't heard them. Maybe not at the level that is exciting or passionate. So you're like, yeah, I got into Juice Plus because I, was diagnosed with this disease. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's and started taking Juice Plus, and then I cured myself. And people are like, all right. Instead of, hey, let me tell you what happened. Let me give you some passion behind my story, even if you've told it again and again and again. How'd you get into this place? What are the most important lessons you've learned? What's your favorite memory of success? They probably haven't heard that. Leaders, what is your favorite memory of success? And then Brain goes, yeah, but the last couple of months or years, people have left and my team's gone down and I'm not making money. And so welcome to the world. Welcome to what the rest of us have been going through. But what's the fondest memories you have of success? Brandon, that was 4 years ago. Great. I don't care. I want to hear them. I can tell you, I worked with a couple 6 years ago Saved their marriage. They told me I saved their marriage. In fact, they're renewing their vows this year, and they said we want you to host the ceremony. So I got to go online and find out how to facilitate a marriage. But come on, like that was 6 years ago. Isn't that awesome? Is that cool? Hey, Brandon, we want you to facilitate renewing our vows. I'm like, whoa, really? That's an honor. I said, yeah, we're going to invite all our friends and family, and our marriage is now, you saved it. Thank you. And I'm like, well, I really didn't save it, but I gave you some information and some tools, and I showed up for you in a way that allowed some really cool stuff to happen. That was 6 years ago. Yeah, cool. What happened to you 6 years ago or 5 years ago? Or what are you the proudest of? I'm super proud of that. That was 6 years ago. So what? I'm proud of the fact that a few of you got on and told us how incredible these few days have been for you and how much insight you have. I'm proud of that. That gets me excited. You cannot get excited and passionate unless you're out taking action. I wouldn't get this if I didn't schedule this thing and come do it with you. So maybe you're proud of the sourdough party you had last week and 5 people signed up and are now partners. I don't know. Maybe you're just proud of yourself for making 10 phone calls over the last 2 days. Awesome. But you got to take some personal inventory in order to get passionate. What do you choose to take a stand for? So if I was to ask you, what do you take a stand for? Like clearly you can hear I'm taking a stand for things as I come deliver this stuff to you. Come on, guys. You're like, Brandon, you take a stand because we paid you. All right. How much did you guys pay to get here? Let's do the math. 29 bucks, 19 bucks. And some of you are like, but then I paid 37. All right. How many of you have started doing the math? There's 49 people here. And I think maybe we had like 65 or 70 register. And I think half of those people got a free ticket because of something they signed up for here. Do the math. I'm not here for the money. Am I running a business? Come on, I'm running a business. But clearly, I'm taking a stand for making a difference in your life. I'm taking a stand for making your business change. Or else there's no way I could be here delivering what I deliver over 5 days. No way. So the money is important for you guys. I'm not telling you not to think about money. Building your business and growing money and financial freedom is critical. I love that. I think it's awesome. But you got to take a stand for something much more. If it's taking a stand for other people making money, great. If it's taking a stand for people getting healthy, I mean, beautiful. If it's taking a stand for you delivering the amazement of your product and what it does, that's beautiful, but you got to take a stand for something. How many of you watched during COVID? I know you watched because some of you were part of it and some of you just witnessed it. How many people did you see take a stand for anti-vaccinations? How many people? And maybe you were one of those people that took a stand. How many people took a stand for vaccinations? And what happened? There was a battle. How many took a stand for Black Lives Matter? How many took a stand for Blue Lives Matter? How many took a stand for All Lives Matter? How many take a stand for anti-gun laws? How many take a stand for gun laws? There's stands all over that people take. Here's the problem. Those stands that people are taking are divisive. I'm not telling you to take a stand that's divisive today. Take a stand for people's health. Take a stand for spreading love in the world. Anybody up for that? Like, Brandon, is this where we all take our shoes and socks off and walk around barefoot and be hippies? If it means spreading love, yes. I'm in. I'm taking part in it. I'm going to have to take out some of the old hippie, processes like, you know, I don't do any drugs or drink, so that's out of the question. Sorry. And I don't believe in free sex with everybody on the planet, which I'm not saying all hippies did. Maybe I'm making some judgment here for those of you who are hippies. But if it means spreading love, I'm in. Come on. What do you take a stand for? What do you take a stand for? I know, Candace Corson, you take a stand for something. I know you do. It just can't be divisive. It's got to be with love, or else people don't listen. Because if it's divisive, unless you believe what I believe, you're out of here. So if I'm like, I'm taking a stand for you being healthy, you better get healthy. This is health. And here's all the problems with all the things on the shelf. And here's how awful they are and how bad they are and how they suck. And here's all the stuff at Whole Foods. If you try to get those vitamins, are garbage and blah, blah, blah. If I do that, how many of you are like, oh, I'm loving what you're saying? You're like, no, you're just tearing other stuff down. But if I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm spreading you getting healthy and I have the best way to do it. I have the best way I know possible. And here it is. How many are like, that's not divisive. I like that. People, if you're talking to people and they're like, I don't have the time to come join your business. And you're like, you better have the time. You're like, well, no, I really don't have the time. Or you're like, oh my gosh, I'm taking a stand for your time. I'm taking a stand for time freedom. And I know when you come join this community, when you work your business, you create time freedom. And a phenomenal community. Guys, how many people out there are just craving for community? My gosh, I've talked to so many people in so many different walks of life that are like, I am feeling so alone. I need a group of people. I'm like, well, you could get Juice Plus, which is a product, and be part of a community. I have to pay this much every month. Is it worth it to have a community and get healthy on top of it? Sounds like a no-brainer to me. People are so lonely. It's diminishing their lives. Their quality of their lives are being diminished. Maybe today you just take a stand for helping people come into your community. You're like, no, I'm just focused on me making money and building a team. It's not going to work, guys. If it's all about you, it's not going to work. It's part of it, but it's got to be a we in here. You want we to grow. You want to help others. It's great to love things for yourself. And I'm all about you doing this business so you become stronger and you make money. I'm all about that and building significance and leading people. But there's got to be more. And the more is others. What do you take a stand for? Who do you take a stand for today? Because until you take a stand, I'm telling you, it's not going to be a movement. It's not going to be a movement. Because how many of you ever get into a disagreement with your significant other and you need to be right about something? How many of you ever do this? Come on. How many of you need to be right in your relationships when you get in a fight sometimes? What are you doing? You're taking a stand. Oh, and sometimes you'll die on that, in that stand, right? You're like, no, this is what should be put on a pizza. And pineapple is not what should be put on a pizza. I'm obviously exaggerating there, right? Talking about pizza, but maybe it's like, I have to be right about this. I need to be right. And you just need to be right. And you take a stand. Oh, somebody might have to go on mute. You take a stand, right? So I want you to be able to get into a place where you take a stand for the positive things. How do you create movement messaging? So if we look at, see, I'm gonna pull up the worksheet, but if you look here, like, how do you create movement-based messaging? Now, when I say what's movement-based messaging, it's when you go live in Facebook or social media or Instagram or wherever you go, or when you do a video, or when you talk to people, or when you send a text, or when you send an email, or when you do a post, or all that's messaging. You're delivering a message to the world. Me today, am I delivering a message? Totally. It's my message. But I'm taking a stand for you. What's my messaging? Identify the lies being told to your clients or future clients in your industry. What are they? What are the lies being told to people? What are the lies being told to people? You can get this same product you can get on the shelves in Whole Foods, right? That's a lie. Lies. I eat enough fruits and veggies. Oh my gosh, if I had $1 for every time one of you said that, right? Oh my gosh, like, because that's what you hear all the time. You're like, hey, I have fruits and veggies. I have produce in a capsule. I eat enough veggies. What's the first thing I said to somebody when they told me about this the first time? I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a protein shake every day filled with berries, every kind of berry. And I eat so many green plants. It's unbelievable. I don't need this. Lies. Lies. Absolutely. You know that. You know. You've watched enough. You know enough. They don't. Vitamins are the answer. Yeah. I take vitamins already. I can't afford it. Good one, Diane. Yeah. Stuff sold on TV. Yeah. What are the lies being told to your people? How about you have to get into a business early in order to make any money? So you would have had to have joined Juice Plus like 25 years ago if you're going to be, you had to be a founder in order to make any money. Lies? Yes. Network marketing is a pyramid scheme? Lies? Yes. Yes. I'm too old to make changes. Oh, yeah. So lies being told, the lies being told to them, that's going to be part of your messaging. When you identify these lies, that's part of your messaging. You go out and say, hey, you feel like you already know that you're getting so many fruits and vegetables. You already feel like you're getting plenty, but your health is still not feeling like it's at optimal. Well, here's the facts. Just the facts, ma'am, right? Yes. Yes. That gets to be part of your messaging. The next thing, what are the lies your future clients or future team are telling to themselves? This is what I hear all the time. I can't be a salesperson. In fact, some of you said that. I was 3 years in this business before I'm not going to sell anything before I decided I was going to do something about it. I can't sell. Yes. I can't sell. Lies, lies. What are the lies you're telling yourself? I can't. I'm not. Here it is. Here it is. This becomes your messaging. This is the stuff you gather together and deliver messages to people with. That's it. When you fill these pages full of stuff, now you have a page full of material that you go deliver to people in videos, in social media, in challenges like this. How many of you have watched me do enough challenges? It's like, maybe I could do a challenge. You could. How many of you could do a 5-day challenge or a 3-day challenge? Yeah. What do you need? Your phone and some messaging. That's it. That's it. That's all you need. How many people would show up? I don't know. Does it matter? If you're excited about it, this is the stuff that happens when you create a movement. When you get excited, when you get pumped up, you might go just deliver a 5-day challenge. Is it really that difficult? Come on, you guys have seen it. You've witnessed it enough times. I could teach you how to do it in an hour. I could teach you how to walk through all the specifics and all you need to do to deliver a challenge. That's it. But you got to have messaging. Now, some of you will take a crack at this. Some of you won't. And I don't want any shame if you don't or you won't. You just recognize it's where you're at. Creating a manifesto. It's the very last page. Now, here's the problem. Your perfectionist is going to show up. The perfection in you is going to show up to try to do this thing. And it's going to take you a month. You're going to do it 70 different times. But if you just get clear, in your heart and you just go, here's who I am. I'm a what? I'm an action taker. I've chosen to take a stand for people who aren't willing to take action by helping them with Brandon Barber coaching material, our academies, our virtual events. So they go from being stressed out and overwhelmed to successful using our models that I deliver so they can become successful, build a raving fan culture in their business, and grow their passion dramatically. I don't have that written down anymore. I just made up everything I just said, which is exactly what you could do. Is it true? Facts, 100%. Am I passionate about it? Absolutely. I don't even need to have a manifesto written down because I've delivered it in my head so many times. I'm sold. And so I come out and tell you, listen, here we are. Come be part of our 5-day challenge. Then come be part of a virtual event or come be part of an academy. Or some of you, yesterday, a lot of you, I was surprised, but a lot of you go, hey, I want to check out this ELP thing, Brandon, you're talking about. A year with you, and you signed up for a time to come talk to me to talk about ELP. I was blown away how many people are in for that. That was cool. But notice, I take a stand for you, not just for me. So some of you will create your manifesto using this back page. No, the perfectionist is probably going to show up. It's just part of the deal. Don't try to get it perfect. Start the process. Again, if you're going to go change the world, who do you have to start with? You got to get yourself excited. And so this is not necessarily all about delivering just a raving fan culture, getting everybody else excited. It's getting you excited so you're excited and you can create a raving fan culture. How many of you are back to this challenge? You've been to other things that we've done. Anybody raise your hands? Yeah, look around, check it out. How do we keep getting people coming back? Creating a raving fan culture. Now, there's lots of different processes in what happens there, but this is where it starts. I am so sold on what we do. I know we make a difference. I know we make changes in people's lives. I know because people tell me and I watch them. I would never do that if I did not take action. So I get some of you, it's just getting the momentum moving and taking some action. But part of that is creating this messaging and then going delivering it imperfectly. But movement messaging is critical. Yes. All right, guys. So, hey, listen, I will put this up here one more time for those of you. If you're really, really serious about going like, hey, Brandon, I want to talk to you about what this ELP thing is for a year. I'm going to tell you there's a price involved. It ain't cheap. And I'm going to tell you that it's a year. So there's some time. But if you want to come talk to me about it, just click on that time trade link and we can talk about it. For NMDs, those of you who don't know about our year program that we're doing, it's an NMD mastermind that we're doing just for NMDs. You're welcome to click on that and come talk to me about that. For the rest of you, I'm going to ask you, if you've been moved over these 4 days, if you've noticed some shifts, if you've noticed some changes, if you noticed some brain that's been moving in a different way that hasn't for an awfully long time, then come do more with us. And it can be the ELP, or what I'm going to give you an invitation to right now is what's called our academy. The JP, just for Juice Plus, Reset Academy. So our Juice Plus Reset Academy is an 8-week program. It is, or no, it's 10 weeks. It's 10 weeks, but it's it's over 10 weeks. We spread it over 10 weeks. But there's different things involved in there. So we do, we have 10. Oh yeah, we do. This is 10. We are doing 10. Are we doing 10? We're doing 10 or 8. Oh my gosh. I think we're doing 10. Looks like we're doing 10. All right. So we're doing 10. We're not doing 10. Man, we're doing 8. This is an 8-week. Our academy is an 8-week. We're doing an 8-week program. Sorry, guys. I was a little confused there. This is 8 weeks. It's not 10 weeks. It's 8 weeks. So our 8-week JP Reset Academy, I think we were doing 10 weeks. We've done a couple that are 10 weeks. And then we closed the gap by combining one session that did 2 of the things. So we figured we only need 8 weeks to do everything we used to do in 10. But the JP Reset Academy is an 8-week program. And I'm going to put a link in here for you guys to come check us out. Come check this out. This is an invitation for you to get more. So here's the link. All the details are in jpresetacademy.brandonbarbercoaching.com. All the details are in that link. Everything you need to know about our academy, what's involved, what you do, what takes place there, everything is in that place. So you can go there and you can see everything that we're doing, what it entails, all the dates of the calls, the investment. I mean, it's all there. That link has everything. But to sum this up, I'm going to tell you here, I'll just share with you. I'll share with you what you get as part of this, just so you guys have the invitation to know what you're getting here. So let me share this. I'll share my screen here. This is what the academy looks like. It's 1 seat for 8 weeks in this Reset Academy. You do 8 Zoom coaching calls over this 8-week period. You have 4 laser intensives. So, and I know that's why I got confused. It said Zoom calls over 10 weeks, but it's 8 weeks. But these 4 laser intensives are where we do hot seat coaching. So some of you have taken part in our academies. You know all about it. If you're part of the VIP lab, you witnessed that one-on-one coaching. So you know what hot seats look like. So you get 4 of those. You get a ticket to the upcoming virtual event that we're doing at the end of March. The end of March, we have our virtual event that, oh my gosh, guys, if you've been to part of our virtual events, you know the power in them, the immersion in them, the immersiveness that you get and the value. You get a ticket to our virtual event. You're going to get access to all the worksheets and videos in our virtual library forever. Everything's recorded. And you get all access to everything in what's called our member hub. So this 8-week academy is the next step for you. It's one-time investment of $997, or you pay $299 over 4 payments. Guys, it's kind of silly that we're still offering this academy at this price. Some of you want to go deeper and do the ELP with me, and that's cool. We can do that. But this would be your next step. Your next step with me would be taking part in this, for sure. And if we look, there's all these bonuses that you get. So if you register by the time this academy is over, and here's the deal, I'll tell you, it's Sunday by midnight. Sunday at midnight, if you register, you get all of these bonuses. We give you the recordings of everything you do here, all the worksheets. You get a coaching prep call. You'll take our assessment so you'll know how your brain's giving you good and bad advice. Mindset Monday, some of you have been part of that. You know about our Mindset Monday. You get that free for the 8 weeks. And then you get access to me and Michelle personally for the next 8 weeks. And the one thing that's not in here is you get access to all of our Wednesday gratitude exercises too, but everybody gets access to that. So these are the bonuses that, as long as you say, hey, yes, by Sunday at midnight, that we give you. So the total value in everything we do is 26 grand. We tell you it's 997. It's legit. It's real. Some of you have been part of our academies. Some of you are part of our academies right now. You know the value. You know what's there. You know the beauty of what we do in that whole process. And yeah, so Pam said also in your dashboard, there's a button that you can click to go sign up for that too. So that's my invitation to you guys. If you've loved what you've got over these last few days and you know you want more and you trust us to help you to get more, then the Academy is the best place to go. You can do ALP. That would be, I would say, or you're an NMD, come join us in our Your NMD program. But if it's like, hey, those things are a little out of my reach, or I'm not an NMD, or then I would say this Academy is your next step. We promise you a new business. Give us 8 weeks, we give you a new business. Give us 8 weeks, we give you a new life. So our Academy is our invitation. I would love for you guys to come and join us. Manifesto, write your manifesto, right? Let you show up and write your manifesto from your heart, not your brain. So I am going to see some of you tomorrow. So some of you will see tomorrow, Friday, which is a big day. We wrap everything up into a nice little bow and get it into your system. I got a big surprise for you guys tomorrow. So you want to make sure you show up tomorrow. And for the rest of you, I'll see you in the VIP lab in 2 minutes. Have a good day, guys. We'll see you soon.